NBA Championship 2017. I have to give it to them. The Golden State Warriors were the best team this season. I mean, we kind of knew all along this season that they'd make the NBA Finals, but when you get a 73-win team together, you add Kevin Durant, I mean, it's a great achievement, but it's pretty much the management of the Warriors that have made this team, because, look, I'm not a Warriors hater. I don't hate the Warriors, right? I don't love them, but I don't hate them either. And obviously when I make this channel, I have to be as unbiased as possible, even though it seems that I'm a massive LeBron fan, which I am. I do love LeBron. I have to be unbiased, and I have made a lot of videos on LeBron James, which is why it seems like a huge LeBron fan, but I will give Kevin Durant his respect. The guy is an amazing player. I mean, I tweeted it. If you follow my Twitter, you know that I was pissed off, right? I was pissed off. I didn't think Durant deserved his ring, because in the moment, I was like, don't celebrate, man. You joined the best team. You are an MVP. Why did you have to do this? But I'll give Durant his props, man. The guy is a beast. He won a lot of games. He won, game 3 for Golden State. And had Durant not, won that game 3, then the Cavs may have been 2-2 going into game 5. So, I mean, when you think about it, it could have been a lot closer, right? But Durant was the difference maker. I mean, he did win the Finals MVP. But I'm going to make a video about Cleveland and what's next for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But before I did that, I wanted to make one about the Warriors, because what's next for the Warriors now? Since they've come off an NBA championship, they've got Kevin Durant, who's arguably the second best player in the NBA. Some might say that he's the best player in the NBA now that the finals are over, but I think if you say that, you're underestimating LeBron James by a long way. LeBron, he averaged a triple-double in the finals. He was just amazing, right? But the Warriors, as a team, they're just too good. But what is next for them? What is the next piece for the Golden State Warriors? Because it seems as though they won't be allowed to make many changes. Watch out for Adam Silver, because Adam Silver will be stern, like the pun right there. David Stern? No? Okay, whatever. Adam Silver will be stern on what the Golden State Warriors can do. I don't think he will allow them to go and get a crazy center, like a better center than Zaza Pachulia, right? Obviously, there'll be a little bit of, situation with the management, because the Warriors management is amazing, right? The Warriors management is incredible. They're honestly, I might make a separate video in the future, but the Warriors management, not the team, their management is possibly the best management in the NBA. Their team is insane, and it's not because, I mean, obviously when they added Kevin Durant, that's when it all changed, but before then, they drafted Stephen Curry, they drafted Klay Thompson, they drafted Draymond Green. I mean, they traded for Andre Iguodala and made him a 6th man when they got him. They do a lot of great things down in Golden State between their management and their coaching staff. Steve Kerr is possibly, in my opinion, he is my favorite coach. Not because of, I mean, let's say he didn't coach the Golden State Warriors. I guarantee a lot of you guys would love Steve Kerr as well. But because he coaches the Golden State Warriors, you're all like, nah, Steve Kerr, I hate this guy. Blah, he coaches the Warriors. Oh, man, I hate Steve Kerr. But for real, the guy he's hilarious. He makes so many funny jokes. I mean, when he was for example, when he was the GM of the Phoenix Suns, nobody was like, oh man, I hate Steve Kerr, right? He was just a funny guy. He was a great GM. He's a great coach. Enough about that.
Yeah, JaVale's been great. He's fine. I asked him how he was doing. He said he landed on his butt. I said, what's the prognosis? He said, well, both cheeks really hurt. So, just for your information, both cheeks are injured. So we'll see how. We'll check the cheeks individually tomorrow, and we'll see how he's doing.
Can't beat Steve Kerr. No.
That's my ramble for the video, but let's talk about what the Warriors need to do going into next season. Obviously, the first thing is sign Kevin Durant. And if the Warriors do not sign Kevin Durant, then what the hell is going on there? Shake-up of the NBA, insane, I don't know, but they're going to re-sign Kevin Durant no matter what. The NBA Finals MVP, Kevin Durant, is obviously going to opt out of the 1-and-1 deal he signed last offseason. The Warriors actually don't have bird rights on his deal, unlike they do with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. So if Durant wants to make the most amount of money possible, then it's going to create a huge problem for Golden State, and they have to get under the salary cap to re-sign him, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. So obviously, what pretty much is going to happen, Kevin Durant, he's going to accept a non-Bird max contract from the Warriors, which would be 20% raise from the $26.5 million he made this year, equaling $31.8 million. So the Warriors won't go below the salary cap to re-sign him, which is huge because compared to last year, we know who the Warriors had to give up to get Kevin Durant. I mean, Barbosa, Bogut, Ezeli. They had to get rid of Maurice Spates, a whole bunch of different guys just to get Kevin Durant, just to have enough space for Kevin Durant. Obviously, it was worth it, of course, right? But if the Warriors didn't sign Kevin Durant on the non-Bird extension this year, then that means that both Iguodala and Shaun Livingston may not be able to re-sign with the Golden State Warriors after they have to sign Curry to a massive contract, etc. So, if Durant signs the non-Bird extension, it gives clear way for both Iggy and Livingston to re-sign with the Warriors. So that's the first thing. Kevin Durant needs to sign that specific deal. Obviously, after that, they can re-sign Stephen Curry to his massive contract, which, I mean, he deserves. The guy is honestly insane. A lot of people hate on Stephen Curry, but we haven't seen a guy like him, man. We haven't seen a guy like Stephen Curry. He's changed the way the game is played. I mean, the dude is a beast. He deserves his max money. He's taken a pay cut. He's won 2 MVPs on a 4-year, $44 million deal. Like, players are making that in close to 1 year, but mostly 2 years. Players make $44 million in 2 years. Steph has made 44 in 4 years. Like, the guy deserves his max money. He'll get $205 million over 5 years, which is a $75 million increase that beats any other team. There's no way he's going anywhere. Of course, he wouldn't go anywhere anyway, but like, come on now. They're going to give him his max money, and he deserves it. So after Kevin Durant, you hear that voice crack? That was pretty bad. After they signed Kevin Durant, then they re-signed Livingston and Iggy, and they'll probably have to take a little bit of pay cut there too. They can also sign Stephen Curry to his max contract, which that will be amazing. After re-signing Durant though, the Golden State Warriors will go into the ring chaser market. Players like David West of this year, players that haven't won a ring and want to play for a contending team, they'll go to the Golden State Warriors. I mean, we've seen it with Cleveland. We've seen Korver, Darren Williams. We saw all those Cleveland boys go over to Cleveland just to win a championship. It didn't happen. So it will happen with Golden State as well. That's what happens with contending teams. You get all these players like, watch out for Vince Carter, man. Vince Carter, you never know. He might end up with the Golden State Warriors. What a crazy story that'd be. I mean, Stephen Curry and Vince Carter, because Del Curry and Vince Carter were teammates in Toronto, so Stephen Curry and Vince Carter teammates in Golden State, pretty crazy. But honestly, Vince Carter would be an amazing fit for Warriors if they could somehow get him on the bench. I mean, imagine that, man. That'd be insane. Livingston, Vince Carter, Andre Iguodala. Then they could probably still have David West next year, and any center, JaVale McGee. Man, this team is insane. And for some reason, I have this feeling that Zaza Pachulia might leave the Warriors to go to another team for money. Some stupid team's going to offer him money. But JaVale McGee, I think he can definitely be a starting center for the Warriors going into next season. Don't even be surprised about that. I can actually see JaVale being just another starting center for the Warriors. It could work. He's an athletic center. But yeah, the other player that I don't think they're going to re-sign, talk about players I don't think they're going to re-sign, like Zaza, I don't think Ian Clark is going to re-sign with them. They're going to have to use their taxpayer mid-level exception to keep him, so probably not worth it. And with the emergence of Patrick McCaw, I don't think they're going to keep Ian Clark anyway. But lastly, this is to end the video, let's talk about players that the Golden State Warriors will look at heading into next season, because they're going to have to get veteran guys, players that will just play on the veterans minimum, right? So, I've already stated Vince Carter, and I do think even Andrew Bogut, I mean, how crazy would that be, going from Golden State to Cleveland back to Golden State? Don't even be surprised, because he knows the guys in Golden State, he likes the guys in Golden State, they need a player like him, don't even be surprised. But Vince Carter, Andrew Bogut, I think PJ Tucker could easily be a guy that they could go after for sure. they're pretty much just going to have to go after ring chasers, guys that are veterans that need to get rings before their career is done. That's what's going to happen. So I think there are a few, but most of those guys are pretty much in Cleveland, man. They're all pretty much in Cleveland. I don't think they're going to go after Ty Lawson. Maybe Thabo Sefolosha could be guys that they'll go after. David Lee even. I mean, that would be interesting to see if he goes back to the Warriors. But the main guy, I think, is Vince Carter. I think Vince Carter could really fit with the Warriors, and he could do some work for the Warriors. Roy Hibbert is another guy. If somehow they want to pay him a minimum and he actually accepts, then, I mean, that could be interesting right there as well. So, let me know what you guys think. This is pretty much what the Warriors need to do heading into next season. I'm going to make one on the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. So, yeah, if you're excited for that, please leave a like. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's aim for 3,000 likes, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace!